original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. The U.S. Supreme Court has struck down Louisiana's second majority black congressional district in a decision that could threaten black and Latino electoral districts in other states. CBS's Natalie Brand at the White House.
We have an initial statement from the White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson. She says she calls this a complete and total victory for American voters. She goes on to say the color of one's skin should not dictate which congressional district you belong in. We commend the court for putting an end to what the White House calls unconstitutional abuse of the Voting Rights Act.
The Supreme Court also sided with a faith-based pregnancy center that raised First Amendment concerns about an investigation into whether it misled people to discourage abortions. And the High Court is weighing whether the government can end temporary protected status for migrants from Haiti and Syria.
The program known as Temporary Protected Status allows people from countries facing war or disaster to live and work legally in the U.S. The Trump administration argues it has broad authority to end those protections and that courts shouldn't interfere. But lawyers for migrants say the government ignored legal procedures and failed to consider ongoing violence and instability in both countries. The decision could affect hundreds of thousands of people and reshape how immigration protections are handled nationwide. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
New photographic evidence is in a court filing in the case against the man accused of attempting to assassinate the president at last weekend's White House Correspondents' dinner. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
There's this selfie photo that Cole Allen took in his hotel room, and he has these various weapons on him. So they say that he appeared to be wearing a small leather bag that was consistent in appearance with an ammunition-filled bag, which they later recovered from him at the scene. They say there was a shoulder holster with a sheathed knife, also pliers and wire cutters.
For the first time since the start of the Iran war, Defense Secretary Hegseth and other military leaders testifying to Congress. Key question for Defense Undersecretary Jules Hurst.
So you're saying the full cost at this point is $25 billion?
Yeah, that's our estimate for the cost.
Okay. Interesting, because I'm glad you answered that question, because we've been asking for a hell of a long time, and no one's given us the number.
Democrats are moving to hold former Attorney General Pam Bondi in contempt over the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. California Congressman Robert Garcia.
We strongly believe that she has been involved in a major White House cover-up around the Epstein files.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 328 points. The S&P is down 13. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Is the city's open-air drug ordinance a success? That story next, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. If you're heading into Seattle on I-5 from the north, heading southbound, you're going to run into a couple of issues, a few of them starting in Everett. It'll take you 68 minutes to head into town. That also includes a slowdown in Linwood from an earlier accident, but we are seeing some conditions clearing. That's a little bit better compared to half an hour ago. We do have some challenges this morning if you're heading north into town as well. I-5 seeing a slowdown right at the Museum of Flight. Bottom line, it'll take you 53 minutes heading from Federal Way into Seattle. That's 4 minutes above the norm. North on 405 into Bellevue, not a great ride. You'll see a bigger than normal slowdown through Renton and complementary slowdowns on 167 as you merge onto 405. That's running at about 60 minutes from Federal Way all the way to Bellevue, but that slowdown in Renton is the culprit. And if you're hopping on board the Edmonds-Kingston Ferry, a heads up, there is a delay in Kingston on the Walla Walla due to a medical emergency. We'll continue to follow up on that. Traffic brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. You can text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app. You can listen to your favorite shows, get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm John Repp. Drug arrests in Seattle surged 47% last year, but treatment diversions fell 30%. A city council committee heard that the 2023 open-air drug ordinance is being enforced more aggressively, while Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes says diversion alone can't solve the crisis.
Diversion is part of the solution, but it cannot be the only solution.
City Council member Bob Kettle says the ordinance has been a failure. Every student in Seattle Public Schools could be eating free breakfast and lunch by this fall. Mayor Katie Wilson rolled out the plan yesterday as part of a bigger push to make the city more affordable for families. It still needs council approval. The expansion would cover all 106 schools in the district. Something happened at Ording Elementary School, serious enough to cost the principal and the assistant principal their jobs. The News Tribune reports the district launched an independent investigation into an incident involving 2 students and staff members back on March 27th. The district won't say exactly what happened, citing student privacy laws. Fresh sticker shock at the pump this morning for drivers as gas prices reach a new record high at cities around the state, according to AAA. A story from KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin.
Tacoma also hit a new high of $5.65. Bremerton is setting records this morning, too, at $5.62. Statewide, Washington's average is $5.53, which is 5 cents shy of the state record. That's $1.54 per gallon over the national average of $4.22. This stems from the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Experts say as global oil flow through the Strait of Hormuz is disrupted, $300 million a day is being added to U.S. fuel costs.
And the average price in the Puget Sound region right now, an eye-watering $5.74 a gallon. And Tacoma's $155 million parks bond is on track to pass. The News Tribune reports the measure pulled in more than 76% of the vote as of last night. KIRO News Radio weather, mostly sunny today, getting up to 66 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy but warmer, the high 72, and we will remain into the 70s, heading right into the weekend with scattered clouds Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, the high 79 degrees. Currently, fair skies in downtown Seattle and 53 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, I see it peeking, Ursula. Oh, you know it. I see it peeking. That's right. I see and you speaking. The sun is out. It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. I heard maybe 80 degrees. We're talking about upper 70s on Sunday and Monday. This is it. Prime time.
Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, coming up at 9:30, copper thieves hit a beloved Seattle theater, and now the lights could go out for good. So we're going to have an interview, and we're going to tell you how you can help save the Taproot Theater company. That is an important conversation we're going to have this morning. And then at 9:47, I love this. Every single news organization is talking about the changes to the Costco hot dog combo.
Man, it's a big change. It's a big change.
I felt like I was duped with that headline.
Really?
I'll tell you why coming at 9:47.
I felt it.
Our text line, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right, let's get to it. Top news of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Seattle's mayor was in the middle of talking about making sure students have access to free meals when suddenly gunfire erupted nearby. You've got families there, kids there. The whole scene shifted from community event to chaos. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is covering this story and more.
How scary was this?
I mean, that is just nuts.
About 5:30 yesterday afternoon. This is at the Yesler Community Center. Like you said, you've got young children there, families there, all there for good news. It's a good day. And then the bullets started flying, actually hit the building. Thankfully, nobody was injured. The suspects, 3 or 4 of them, not a great description. They were on the other side of the building, evidently, may have been in a dark sedan. The mayor was announcing that proposal you mentioned to invest more money into Seattle Public Schools at the time. In response, Chief Sean Barnes said, this is a quote, "The shooting reminds us that violence has no place in our community." And then the mayor said afterward, this is a stark reminder of the reality that a lot of people in Seattle live with every day, gun violence like that. But she also said, and this is a quote from her as well, "We cannot let this become normal. We must continue working with to keep people safe."
Okay. When I heard those two statements, I've got to, and I'm not sure if anyone else felt the same way, but mayor saying we cannot let this become normal. Unfortunately, we're already here. I mean, gee, I don't know. This has become too normal. I saw your face react to the comment.
You know, I'm just giving compliments to the mayor, Katie Wilson, and I like what she said. Just a reminder that there are some people that live in these situations every single day. So shout out to her for that. And as far as everything else, I hear this, and it's sad, right? Because sometimes you say things like, well, we need more police, and if we have more police, we'll stop the... No. You just saw that. You think there's not a police presence when the mayor is there? The bullets hit the building that the mayor was in. Now, I'm grateful and thankful that everyone, including the mayor, was not hurt or injured or anything like that, but it is a stark reminder of what is actually going on.
Yeah, and the police chief also in his statement mentioned a whole of Seattle approach, which again, I would say means absolutely nothing without action and accountability. So what does that look like? We're talking about police targeting hotspots, actually solving cases. And to do that, you do need more police. Prosecutors actually following through on gun charges, which doesn't always happen. And we need to make sure that happens. A focus on repeat offenders, which we hear about all the time, not just catching them, but once they're caught, actually keeping them off the street. And then those prevention programs that we always hear about, and a lot of money is given to them, they have to be measured, not just funded. We need to do more with gun reform. I mean, all these things in coordination. So when you say whole of Seattle approach, I hope that's otherwise these are just words without the actions.
And speaking of actions, my good brother Steve just texted in, and something that we've talked about on this show. Just remember, in Seattle, if you're a youth and you get caught with a firearm, you have up to 5 times before you statewide.
Yeah, remember, because they tried to change it in the legislature, and the legislature didn't do it.
So when we start talking about actions,
yes,
that is an action that is just gross. It shouldn't be that way. And we say we care about bullets flying.
Yeah.
Change that dang on thing right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Luke, I know you're also covering this other story that was reported in Axios about Governor Ferguson and how hard it is to get information out from his office, or his office is trying to control what goes out.
Yeah, we've experienced this here, what they're talking about in this article here at KIRO News Radio for a long time now. And here's what it does, and here's the questions that it's raising. You know, we're talking about a new report that alleges Governor Bob Ferguson's office is tightly controlling what information reaches the public and the press. It also claims critical updates are being delayed, potentially keeping key information out of public view when it could matter most. Information like bridge repairs and accident investigations from departments all over the state, but also vaccine guidance and urgent public health alerts. All that information held back or delayed by the governor's office is what Axios is reporting, which is raising big questions about, number one, transparency, but also whether information is being kept from state residents, right? And journalists as well. So they obtained documents from the governor's office in 5 different state agencies like the Department of Health, Transportation, even the Washington State Patrol, all across Olympia. And that they're all being directed by the governor's office to contact the governor's office first if they get a media inquiry or if they want to publish a news release. Here's just one example that Axios uncovered. In October, they claim that the governor's office delayed a notice about a confirmed case of measles at SeaTac Airport because the governor's office wanted to make a change to the information that was being shared. Delayed that information when that's the kind of information you want to get out if you're exposed to measles at the airport. The records also show, according to Axios, that staffers are frustrated using words like grueling, painful, and a continual barrier to describe this process. Back to what we've experienced, you know, with different state agencies, delays in getting responses from them because, and we were told by different people at different agencies here and there, all across, all of us in the newsroom, that, you know, because you get to know people and they would say, you know, this is a new policy that we got to deal with. And so we would have to delay information to you, the listeners. Oftentimes we emailed them and got no response from their communications director or the governor. Now they're responding after this Axios article has come out, and they're saying that this is a new process that people have to get used to, but it's a way to collaborate across agencies. So it doesn't sound like
collaborate. It sounds like a bottleneck.
Right, and it doesn't sound like they're getting rid of it. It sounds like they're doubling down on it.
No. Governor Bob Ferguson is like a coach that wants to call every play. Governor Ferguson calls the play, goes out onto the field, grabs a football, and throws the football to himself. I know firsthand about people that used to be in that office that are like he is the worst micromanager in the world. I heard the culture is nothing but like you said bottleneck. That's a good one right there. I had another thing to say, but I'm going to leave it at bottleneck. No, that culture of micromanaging, if anybody has looked up the word micromanager, they say it is 100 times worse in that office. And by the way, I ain't telling you. I'm telling you what I heard. Right from a direct source. And matter of fact, there's been a few folks that's no longer working in that office that says it's micromanager. Stop trying to be the coach, the quarterback, and the receiver at the same time, Governor Bob Ferguson.
Well, and gee, it's not only just bad for morale for the people who work for him and in these departments. For us as the public, we're not being served by information, especially you said it was it measles or what was it that
measles notice? So someone
I'm sorry,
that's
that's not helping us. Yeah, so that does not help the public. First of all, secondly, lack of transparency in government is never a good thing. And the idea, he sounds like a control freak when it comes to information. I understand wanting to make sure that the message is consistent, but if it is now so tight and it's so unusual compared to previous administrations, that's an issue.
God, it also sounds a little bit from a PR perspective for a lack of a communications plan that's broad reaching. So if you have a communications plan and there are certain messaging points that you want to get out with each and every communication, or that everything you say has to snap to the governor's plan to do X, Y, or Z, then you put that out, and communications specialists know, they're professionals. They know how to do that.
Yes.
You don't release a story unless it snaps to this messaging.
Yes.
But it sounds like the inverse is happening.
Yes.
We will tell you what to say and how to say it.
Luke, thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate
Ursula,
you.
are you a backseat driver? Are you one of those folks that be in the backseat trying to tell folks?
I'm paying no attention to
you know what I mean? Because this reminds me of right here. The fact that he can't just hand the folks the keys. No, he hands you the keys. He jumps into the car. He grabs the wheel.
Yeah.
He tries to stick his foot down there and brake for you at the same time. Let the dang car go, Bob.
Well, it does not instill confidence in anyone else. And, at the very least, it's horrible for morale. But
Okay.
I think it's to the detriment of the public as well. Okay, more than 3,500 complaints, 10 times being turned away, and now the state is going to court to force its way inside a Tacoma detention center that the state believes is hiding something. So speaking of the governor, Governor Ferguson and Attorney General Nick Brown are now suing the GEO Group. This is the private company that runs the ICE processing center in Tacoma, and they're demanding that a judge order the facility to allow state health inspectors in. Now, the state says inspectors have been denied access 10 different times, even as thousands of complaints are piling up, alleging everything from unsafe food, lack of medical care, and disgusting unsanitary conditions. According to the AG's office, 2 people have now died at the Tacoma Detention Center just since 2024. There have been at least 6 suicide attempts, and the AG puts it bluntly, people are being harmed and the state is done waiting. Now, the GEO Group is deferring questions to ICE, and ICE has not responded, to no shock of
3,500 complaints, 2 dead, 6 people alleged to have tried to take their life. And y'all don't want to let the health inspectors in? So much, let the health inspectors in and let the health inspectors drink the water. Because according to this, they got some of our own guards are bringing their own water. Now, check this out. They are bringing their own water. So check this out. Imagine if we come to your house, and I come to your house, Ursula, and I see you drinking your own water. But then I go to get me a little sippy sip or something, and you get it right from the faucet, to which I ask you, Ursula.
How come I don't get the bottled water?
Why don't I get the bottled water? So, again, And then you would say, no health inspector is going to come inspect this. So you're telling on yourself. Now, this isn't about where you stand on immigration.
No.
This isn't about where you stand about the wall that Donald Trump has had built. I mean, he didn't have it. Okay. Anyway, this isn't about that. This is about human decency. Can we get back to that? Can we get back to human decency? They denied it. So now they are hiding behind, hey, we are federal. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just say this right now. They in my city, Ursula.
I know they are.
They in Tacoma.
Yep.
They down in Tacoma doing all of this, doing who knows what.
Well, and it raises also the question. I mean, first of all, I'm glad they're filing this lawsuit. This is a good move to force them to let the inspectors in, because that's often what finally makes a change.
Yeah.
But I don't think prisons should be run by private companies, period. Because when you lock someone up, you are taking away their freedom, which is one of the most serious powers that government has. So it should never be outsourced to a company whose job it is to turn a profit. And that's what we're seeing here. Mm-hmm. The GEO group, if you look them up, is the subject of ongoing lawsuits, many of them.
Right.
And so they're under contract with ICE, and cutting costs and filling beds is part of their business model. Safety, like you said, basic human dignity, those are not optional.
Nope.
And I think that's what we're seeing now. So I'm glad that there is this lawsuit. Okay, another day, another high-speed chase in Thurston County, but this one, ended with a suspect dead and a lot of unanswered questions. Deputies say they tried to stop this driver going 90 miles an hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone on the Yelm Highway. The suspect took off and eventually crashed and then ran. And then during the foot chase, there was gunfire that broke out in a nearby backyard. The suspect was hit and died at the scene. As of this morning, though, as last check, we don't know who fired that fatal shot. Right. So Sheriff Derek Sanders says at least one deputy did fire their weapon, but there were multiple shots. A passenger who ran was caught with a tracking dog, and she is now behind bars. But there now is this independent investigation. And again, scrutiny growing over these high-speed chases, in particular in Thurston County.
We had on Sheriff Derek Sanders on our show, and we asked him about specifically, how come in Thurston County y'all chasing folks all the time? And you have some sound or something?
I do.
Go ahead.
I would say that it ebbs and flows. In the wintertime when it's cold, wet, and rainy, it kind of goes down. And then during the summertime, sometimes people decide that they're going to test it out. I can tell you that the availability of air support lately has been really great with Washington State Patrol's airplane Smokies. That helps. But it kind of ebbs and flows. So over the last couple months, we kind of saw a decrease, then an uptick for a week now. And we'll continue to see that ebb and flow.
One of the things that he talks about is hey, like we're just trying to go after the 1%. And usually the 1% he's talking referring to the worst of the worst, the violent offenders and all that. And I think we can all agree with that. But I'm just curious. First, let me just say this. I'm glad no citizens were hurt. Glad no officers were hurt. I just want to say that first. Second, this alleged suspect was going 90 in a 35. Which, okay, yeah, that's bad. That's not good. But what was it that made them continue the chase? Did they pull something up and automatically know that this person was violent? If something came up and it says a warrant for his arrest for something violent, the investigation will sort itself out. I just hope that if and when they are choosing to chase someone, that nobody gets hurt, because there's been a lot of chases in Thurston County. But again, we don't know what this alleged suspect did. We don't know anything or what he's wanted for.
Definitely, need more information.
But I just want to say, like, what did you all know at 90 miles an hour that fast to make that decision? And maybe they did know something. So, we'll see. All right, Ursula, good stuff. Coming up at 9:47. Oh, by the way, 10 o'clock, Dr. Jason Johnson will be joining the show, from MS Now contributor and law professor, political science professor, that is. But up next, there is a theater that needs our help.
will tell you exactly what that is as they join us next here on the Gee Ursula Show.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
There is one real estate agent who's been helping KIRO listeners longer than anyone else, and that's Wes Jones with sellwithwes.com. Wes, you've helped KIRO listeners in good markets and more difficult ones. What do you think has been the secret to your success?
Experience has taught us that to outperform the market, we needed to do things differently from the status quo, that we needed to do more. Our exclusive system covers innovative marketing locally and internationally, leading to more eyeballs on your home, better listing prep for better showings, negotiation strategies that eliminate pesky buyer contingencies, and generate stronger offers. Through our exclusive client programs, our sellers enjoy an extraordinary marketing experience utilizing techniques a traditional agent cannot offer.
So if you want to sell your home faster, at a higher price, and with fewer contingencies, if you want more, visit sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
With summer right around the corner, Valentine Roofing's schedule is filling up fast. Jake Skorheim here. I want to give you 3 reasons why you should pick up the phone and call Valentine today. Number 1, there's still time to beat the summer rush and get your roof started in as little as 3 weeks. Number 2, when the nice weather hits, you'll be enjoying your backyard instead of worrying about your roof. And 3, with the increased cost of crude oil, material prices going up, shipping prices going up, lock in your price now before the market absorbs all those price increases. Call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprises, just a clear estimate you can trust. And once you choose Valentine Roofing, here's what you can expect: seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. That's the Valentine experience, and the reason that they were awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. Call 206 Roofing today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall tire dressing. Plus, get 4 times O'Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILA, TILAMortgage.com.
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Kilo Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18-month 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let him know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. Top Pentagon officials appeared before the House Armed Services Committee on the Pentagon budget for the fiscal year 2027. The Trump administration requesting $1.5 trillion. 9th District Congressman Adam Smith pressed the Pentagon's Jules Hurst on the cost of the Iran war.
So you're saying the full cost at this point is $25 billion?
Yeah, that's our estimate for the cost.
Democrats are pushing to file contempt charges against the former Attorney General. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
We filed official contempt charges.
After that announcement by House Oversight Committee Chairman Robert Garcia, a May 29th deposition date was set for Pam Bondi. Democrats have been pushing for her to testify into the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and the DOJ's handling of the case.
We strongly believe that she has been involved in a major White House cover-up around the Epstein files.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Seattle police are investigating shots that were fired last night as Mayor Katie Wilson was wrapping up an event at Yesler Terrace Community Center, announcing a plan to invest more money to fund school meals. The shooting damaged the community center, but nobody was hurt. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes calling for a comprehensive approach to address gun violence in response. Seattle bike commuters logged more than 3 million miles around the city last year, according to a new study from the fitness app Strava. That's enough to lead the nation, followed by Chicago and Minneapolis-St. Paul. The Seattle Times reports the most popular routes along the city include Westlake, the Burke-Gilman Trail from I-5 to Gasworks Park, and 8th Avenue northwest of the Fremont Bridge. On Wall Street, the Dow down sharply amid some uncertainty over the Fed. It's down 310 points at this hour. The S&P 500 down 13, and the NASDAQ also down 46 points. KIRO News Radio traffic. We are tracking a slowdown on I-90 from Issaquah to Bellevue, taking you about 27 minutes instead of the usual 14. I'm not seeing an accident on my cameras, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. Many of you are experiencing some slowdowns northbound into Seattle from Federal Way. It's going to take you 49 minutes. That's 9 above average. Some slowdowns, especially approaching I-90 into town. And then heading northbound to Bellevue on 405, just a minute above average, so that's actually welcome news. Eastbound across 520 to Redmond, I'm seeing a 21-minute drive, which is 6 above average. And southbound into Seattle, looking good right now. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio weather. Sunshine today. Mostly sunny skies, the high 66. Some clouds moving in on Thursday and Friday, but it is going to be warmer. The high in the 70s, low 70s, I should say. And then Saturday into Sunday, look for that warming trend with mostly sunny skies on Sunday, the high 79. Currently in downtown Seattle, fair skies, 53 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is ready for your messages. 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. It was a gut punch to the arts community. A beloved Seattle theater right in the heart of the Finneywood neighborhood gets hit by copper wire thieves, and suddenly a place that has been bringing stories to life for nearly 50 years is fighting just to keep the lights on. We're talking about Taproot Theater Company, a rare success story in local theater, and right now they need our help. So joining us on the Gee and Ursula Show is Artistic Director Karen Lund. Good morning, Karen.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So start off with what happened. How did you discover this theft?
Oh, well, it was a big surprise, especially during the colder weather season when our theater during performance nights started heating up pretty hot. And so immediately we called in our HVAC team to see if they could see what the problems were. They checked the filters, they checked the thermostats. Nothing seemed to be amiss. The blowers were even working. And then one of my employees got the idea, wouldn't it be interesting to climb up on the roof just to check the units themselves? And that's when we discovered that we had this theft vandalism. And what was for a very little amount of copper, it's basically they took two of our air conditioning units and destroyed them. And so our theater itself was having trouble getting the air it needed to keep the theater cool when it's filled with people and running theatrical lighting, which is much warmer than your average lighting in your own home. And when we found that out, we very quickly got to work trying to figure out alternatives and what to do. And we found out we were going to have to replace our entire HVAC system. So what should have been just a minor damage has turned into a major issue for us.
Karen, so once it set in that what happened and what's going to be the cost of everything and all that stuff, take us back to what's going through your mind. How do you feel? What are your thoughts when you figure out what happens?
Of all the places in Seattle to be wishing for cool weather, this is not the place you would think that, but we were lucky to finish off our last show, Ain't Misbehavin'. We had cool weather. So we rerouted the one air conditioner that was still there into our theater. And with the cool weather outside, that air conditioner, and we bought some portable air conditioners, we were able to keep the building going and comfortable for our patrons and our artists. But what's going through my mind now is we could hold out for our next show in May if the weather stays cool. But what happens in the summertime when we only have the one air conditioner and we have classes going all summer long for kids, and then we have our musical Joseph and the Amazing Technical Dreamcoat happening every night to full houses? One air conditioner is not going to do it. We have really got to solve this problem by the beginning of June, or we're going to have to figure out alternatives. So that's kind of what I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about having to shut down our programming, and that's why we're asking for help.
So what does help look like for Taproot Theater Company?
Well, I don't know all the ways that people might be able to help us, but the thing that the HVAC people are telling us, one is obviously cost. We had no idea this was coming. And so that's why we're asking for fundraising and for support for the cost to basically rehab our entire HVAC system. Because the system we had was our original system, which was almost 30 years old. And so it's not up to standard or code anymore. And so we have to bring it up to code. And then speaking of code, we're going to have the city come in and sign off on it and make sure it meets all those standards. Now that's the thing that really has me concerned, because according to our HVAC folks, this can take some time, up to 6 weeks. And I'm very nervous about that because we've got to get going as quickly as we can to keep all that programming happening. So anybody who has any ideas for me, I will take them. But the funding is one, and then encouragement is another. Where to go, how to get it done. We've got a great HVAC company that's working with us, and they're on the ball, and we think we're going to be able to get the systems in soon enough. But it's whether or not we can get it signed off on as soon as possible.
You listen to the voice of Karen Lund. She is the Taproot's producing artistic director here on the Gee and Ursula Show, and Taproot Theater for sure needs our help. There's people who have probably heard of Taproot Theater. I've heard of it. I've never been, but I've heard of it. And then there are people who have not. I want you to kind of talk to the people right now. There's a lot of people that are listening to this. I want you to say to them, like, something that you couldn't say maybe in the press release about this whole topic, about what you all are going through. What is there something that we're not asking you that you really want to tell the people about your place?
Well, this is our 50th anniversary season, and we really wanted it to be a season of celebration. And I certainly didn't think that at this time I'd be coming to you and saying, we're in need and we need your help. But, Taproot has been through things like this before. We've been through earthquakes. We've been through banking crises. We had a fire in our building in 2009. You might know about the Greenwood gas explosion that we had in 2015. Yeah. So, we've been through these things before, and we're still here, and we want to be here 50 years from now. And if you could help, that would be really appreciated.
Okay, Karen, I know we have very generous listeners. So, what's the best way to help? Give us the information.
I guess the best way to help would be to go onto our website at taproottheater.org, and there is a place there that you can give a gift. And it'll show you exactly how to do that. It'll walk you right through it. That's the best way to help. And any thoughts you have or ideas you have, please feel free to email us at taproottheater.org.
So are we able to maybe take that link and put it on our Gee and Ursula Facebook page? And in that way, our listeners that maybe aren't listening right now, they could go right to that link?
Yes, absolutely. We'll make that happen for you.
Okay. Really appreciate it.
Karen Lund, Artistic Director, Taproot Theater Company. We hope the help comes because it is very important to continue to support the arts, and what you do is wonderful for the neighborhood and for the larger community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. And then we also have a Bill in Lake Stevens that just texts us some good stuff. So we'll get that. We'll have Paul send this off to them. Bill, I see your message right there. Thank you for that. Man,
he owns an HVAC company. What did I tell you?
We got some.
We have the best people.
Come on now.
Listening to this show.
Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. Power to the people. Remember, Dr. Jason Johnson joins us at 10 o'clock. But up next, you know what we need to talk about? Costco hot dog made some changes. We'll talk about it next. Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Thinking about starting your GLP-1 journey? Go to orderlymeds.com/radio. Get access to proven GLP-1 medications, licensed providers, and a plan built for real life. All online. No guesswork, no wasted time. Just real people, real answers, real momentum, and support that actually lasts. Join thousands already seeing results. Start now at orderlymeds.com/radio. Orderlymeds.com/radio. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all?
What?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. We're here to help you achieve total wellness at home. Right now, save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa for fabulous healthy soaks. Or save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa and turn your backyard into a year-round swim oasis. These massive savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Who hungry right now? And if you're hungry, who pulls up the Costco, Ursula? Now, listen, I ain't pull up news boss at all, so I'm just letting you know.
Wow.
So, anyways, Costco and them,
they got a $1.50 hot dog combo.
$1.50, and by the way, they got me. It was a headline grabber.
Big change is coming. Big change is coming.
And it got me. So I went to go do it. And I said, oh, man. Now, but I get it, though, because not everybody is like Ursula and wants a soda. You know what I mean? so,
I'm with you, Ursula. Don't worry. I'm with you.
Sometimes, come on, you got to cut through that grease. You got to have something like sparkly.
And now that they switched to Coke, too, come on.
Okay, so the story is...
Yes.
That they said big change is coming to the $1.50 hot dog combo at Costco. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, according to the Seattle Times, you can now get a 16.9-ounce bottle of Kirkland Signature water instead of the soda.
Right.
Still $1.50.
Still $1.50.
So that's the big change. And they say, well, but this combo, soda and hot dog, that hasn't changed in how many years now?
40.
So 40.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
They got us.
Brilliant. They got us
because now we're all talking about it.
And by the way, anybody wants to make fun of this news, just remember, when you go to some of these ballparks and games and, entertainment things, how much is a 16.9-ounce bottle of water? You know what I'm saying? You paying $7, $8 sometimes for these things, and now you get to go to Costco. You get $1.50. You get the hot dog
with the hot dog.
Now,
bun included.
Here's the truth about me.
Yeah.
When's the last time
you had a hot dog?
No, that hot dog. By the way, I love hot dogs, but I just can't eat them. But
By the way, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
But $1.50 makes it very tempting.
Wait, Ursula, you never pulled up downtown and got some of the Seattle dogs?
I have. So here's the thing about hot dogs for me.
Yeah.
They only taste good outside the ballpark.
No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
I don't know what it is.
No,
and Mark will always get a hot dog.
That is fair.
And I'm like, they taste so darn good.
That is so fair to say.
But it has to be the grilled bun.
Oh, come on.
I don't like a cold bread. I don't like a cold floppy bun. Mm-hmm. It needs to be a grilled bun.
Nobody likes a floppy bun.
And I love that.
You're still talking about the hot dog over there?
Hot dog. I love the hot dog bun.
You're trying to tempt me. You're trying to tempt me, knowing I'm fatigued here. Okay. So, and then it has to have all the fixins. Mm-hmm. And I don't even like mustard. Okay, you cannot have ketchup for me. But what makes the perfect hot dog for you guys? I mean, I want to hear your guys' take on it. Because if I'm not a hot dog eater, I don't count.
Yeah, I like a little crust on the bun.
Yes.
Yep. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like a little crust on the bun. If we really want to say perfect, let me have a little crust and a little butter-ish on there, right? A little buttered toast, buttered bun. I'll have that. Let's be real. The cream cheese with the Seattle dog.
Okay.
And just to be clear, I am born and raised in Chicago, and Chicago is known for their hot dog.
Love me a Chicago dog.
I'm sorry. The Seattle dog blows the Chicago dog away. First of all, putting sauerkraut on a hot dog is criminal. When I was a kid, it was nasty. That's number one. Number two, you couldn't even show up in Chicago. Do not go and order ketchup on your dog because people will look at you and then you might get robbed because they'll know you are a tourist in that area. So don't do that. Yes. Now, I personally like a little ketchup on the dog and everything like that. So my perfect dog is, and then also my hot dog, I want it a little overcooked a little bit too.
Me too.
I want a little
outer crust,
like a little snap to it.
You
want that little black char on the dog.
Yes.
So,
okay. Well, we have another producer in house here, so I want you to introduce yourself real quick. What's your perfect hot dog?
Oh, hey, my name's Mike. Thanks so much for having me here. I like the traditional Costco dog in that they give you the hot dog and you go to the station and you've got like the 3 pumps. I do a little bit of mustard. I do a little bit of ketchup. I do the relish, and sometimes post-pandemic they have the little cup of onions and I'll put that on there. Long gone is the Jack in the Box grinder of the raw onions. R.I.P. to that. But yeah, I'll take whatever they give me. I did want to bring up one thing about this Costco thing though. At the machine, they've added an extra step to it with the water. Like I'm a Costco ninja. Like I go to the thing and I see the hot dog thing and I'd be like, pop, one for me and my wife. But now you hit that and then a new window opens and it's like, do you want the soda or do you want the bottle of water? So it adds an
That's throwing you off.
It's throwing me off. It's a
Okay.
little extra step there.
Gee, you got people hacked off about no sauerkraut on hot dogs.
Hey, you know what? Thoughts and prayers to you then.
I'd rather have kraut than ketchup on the dog. I'm telling you that.
And by the way, this is my time. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Here we go.
Okay.
Now text in if you agree or disagree. The best hot dog spot in the state of Washington is the Red Hot down in Tacoma.
Oh, yeah.
Off 6th Ave, baby.
I actually go there a lot.
The Red Hot is game changing. If you've
So
never...
what does it have?
Every kind of hot dog you want. Any kind of hot dog you want.
Okay.
Matter of fact, my wife was the first one to take me there to
And
Red
is it
Hot.
a special kind of like Polish? You're saying
you get
like whatever
all
kind of hot dog you want.
types of hot
Okay.
dogs, Ursula. I'm
Maybe
telling
it
you
would
right
change
now.
my mind.
Yes. If the Red Hot, text in. If you know, you know. That's the
Okay,
place.
brats. I don't like a plain hot dog, but I do like bratwurst. I like the brats.
Bratwurst are good.
Yeah.
That's like a sophisticated hot dog.
Yeah. I mean, Ursula. I'm talking down there. You get Ursula. You get the
Okay.
bacon on there. You get
Bacon on top of a hot dog?
You can get the slaw dog. You can get the hilltop. You can get the Rainier Reuben. You can get the Mr. Mac that has some macaroni and cheese. Look, the Red Hot in Tacoma on 6th Ave. Bar none. It's the spot. Matter of fact, I might pull up this weekend and go get me some. All right, y'all. Dr. Jason Johnson. Some of you guys love him. Some of you guys don't. Either way, you know this conversation is going to be compelling. We do that next, Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. A major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court that could have a big impact on representation.
In a case that has widespread implications for the balance of power in Congress, the court's conservative majority ruled Louisiana's effort to create a minority voting district is an unconstitutional gerrymander. A White House spokeswoman stated, quote, "This is a complete and total victory for American voters. The color of one's skin should not dictate which congressional district you belong in," unquote. Other states have taken similar steps to boost both Republican and Democratic representation in Congress, citing the Voting Rights Act. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
House Democrats get a chance to question Defense Secretary Hegseth for the first time since the war in Iran began.
We had to start this war, you just said, 60 days ago, because the nuclear weapon was an imminent threat. Now you're saying that it was completely obliterated?
They had not given up their nuclear ambitions, and they had a conventional shield of thousands of...
So Operation Midnight Hammer accomplished nothing of substance. It left us at exactly the same place we were before.
Pentagon officials say the war has cost $25 billion so far. Democrats pushing for answers in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation moved to file contempt charges against the former Attorney General.
House Oversight Committee Chairman Robert Garcia announced their intent to file contempt charges.
We are demanding that Pam Bondi come and testify or she will be held accountable.
And she will face Congress. Her deposition date will be May 29th. He says it was unacceptable that she did not show up for her earlier deposition.
Our goal here is to get her to testify.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Clean up in parts of Texas and Oklahoma after destructive storms. CBS's Jason Allen.
In southeastern Oklahoma, a possible tornado hit the small town of Caney, toppling large trees.
And the wind started picking up, and I just heard a loud bang, and it was a tree falling on our house.
We was like, oh my goodness. And the kids was like, is our house still there?
Overseas, 2 Jewish men were stabbed and injured in London in what police call an act of terrorism. A 45-year-old man's being held on suspicion of attempted murder. Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
It is deeply concerning to everyone in this House. There is now a police investigation, and I think we all need to do everything we can to support that investigation.
Buckingham Palace said King Charles, who right now is in New York City, was deeply concerned by the attack. Wall Street. Right now the Dow is down 325 points. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Who's controlling the flow of public information from state agencies? That story coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Southbound I-5 Everett to Seattle has ballooned to 61 minutes. Slow going heading into town, pretty much starting at 175th Street. That is 11 minutes over the 50-minute average. And then heading south to Bellevue on 405. You're about 10 minutes over the typical 53-minute drive at this hour. The slowdown approaches Canyon Park, so be prepared for a bit of a slog there. On I-5 northbound, just south of South Albro Place, there is a collision that was partially blocking the HOV lane. It looks like it's off on the shoulder, maybe cleared entirely, but it is slowing you down still. So you're looking at about a 6-minute slowdown if you're trying to go from Renton through Seattle into Linwood. And oddly, northbound to Bellevue on 405 is manageable. It's just 29 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. It's a 1-minute delay. Traffic brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. That's from carpet to flooring. Carpet Liquidators has got you covered.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. A new report from Axios alleges Governor Bob Ferguson's office is tightly controlling what information reaches the public and the press. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports it also claims critical updates have been delayed.
One example, Axios says emails they uncovered show the governor's office delaying a timely and critical measles notice concerning exposure at SeaTac Airport because they wanted to make a minor change. However, it follows a policy requiring Governor Bob Ferguson's office to approve most state agency news releases and responses to media questions. Records show holdups involving multiple state agencies, from bridge repairs, vaccine guidance, and public health alerts. Ferguson's office tells Axios the policy improves coordination across agencies, but agency staff complained it has created major communication bottlenecks. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Local game developers are planning to unionize in the face of tech layoffs and a corporate return-to-work mandate. Employees with Renton-based Wizards of the Coast announced their intent earlier this week, according to the Seattle Times. This is the workforce behind the popular Magic the Gathering trading card game that includes designers, artists, producers, programmers. They say layoffs last year, coupled with broader industry trends toward AI consolidation, prompted them to act. And it is the 40th anniversary of the Windermere Cup this weekend on the Montlake Cut. The rowing regatta marks the start of Seattle's boating season. Megan Goodman with the Pocock Rowing Club tells KIRO 7 she can't wait.
We're just proud to be Seattle. It's a great place to row. There's a lot of history on these waters, and every time we put a boat in the water, we acknowledge that.
The event features the University of Washington against elite crews from all around the world, including Great Britain and Canada. The races begin on Saturday at 10:15, followed by a boat parade at noon. Attendance, there's no charge for that. KIRO News Radio weather. We are looking at some really nice stretch of weather here starting today and heading into the weekend. Mostly sunny skies, the high 66 today. Thursday, partly cloudy, the high 72. We still have some clouds hanging around on Friday, but the high is still at 70 degrees. And then warming up dramatically Saturday into Sunday. You could see the high approaching 80 degrees. Currently, it's like 79 degrees is the forecasted high on Sunday with mostly sunny skies. Right now in downtown Seattle, we are looking at beautiful blue skies and a temperature of 53 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, how come today feel like a Thursday and not a Wednesday? A good question, because I think we're highly anticipating the weekend when That's we're what it expecting is. to have amazing weather. If you like warm weather. I just hope my brothers and sisters, when the sun is out, and I hope you with family and loved ones, and I want you to just randomly say, uh-oh, I see the sun peeking and it's speaking. Yeah. What we like to call a Chamber of Commerce kind of day. Yeah. It's going to be like that. It's just going to be progressively warmer as we head into the weekend. Yes. And it just makes me so happy. Okay. Text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
We've now had another attempted assassination of President Trump, and almost immediately both sides were pointing fingers as to who's to blame for all this political rhetoric that is driving up violence in this country. At the same time, there's, of course, the war in the Middle East driving gas prices up. And also around the country, voters are trying to figure out who is actually leading and who's just reacting. So how do you cut through all of this? Well, let's bring in Dr. Jason Johnson, political science professor at Morgan State University and MSNBC contributor. Good morning, doctor.
MS Now.
MS
Ursula,
Now.
MS Now.
Oh, my gosh.
I need to get hip. Dr. J, it's been a long time.
It has been too
It's
long.
been a long time. I shouldn't have missed you. I will say this. It was a very interesting weekend in Washington, D.C. And as someone who has been to several White House Correspondents' Dinner, I was not at this particular one. The aftermath of this weekend's activities have led to some of the most interesting times I've seen in D.C. and in American media in the last 10 or 12 years.
Well, explain that.
That's my top line.
Okay, yeah. Explain that. So what was different?
So first off, and I've said this, on my own streaming channel, I think it's very important to say up front, because everybody's been chewing over this. You should never attribute to conspiracy what can be explained by incompetence, right? Like, there's a lot of people out there saying, oh my gosh, it's a false flag. This was fake. It was Trump, and he was trying to do this so he could get a ballroom. We don't have any evidence of that, right? And so, that's going down a tinfoil hat rabbit hole. What we do know is that by the latest reporting, and I just saw this earlier this morning, this was massively incompetent. The Secret Service, they shot at this guy 5 times and apparently missed. Like, when he fell over, they thought they had shot him. No, Cole Allen, the shooter, actually slipped and fell on his own. There was no outside security. They didn't have QR codes on the tickets. I know people who went there who were saying, like, this is really weird. There was no good security this year. You usually can't get anywhere near that hotel for like 2 blocks, right? They won't let you near the hotel without a room key, without a ticket. So it looks to me like it was massive incompetence. And I'm not surprised that the Trump administration uses any incident as a way to push whatever agenda it is they have. But I'll tell you, as of right now, I'm not on conspiracies on them. There's plenty of things that I think are questionable this administration has done, and I wouldn't put it past them to try. But you can't, on the one hand, say that these people are incompetent at war, the economy, healthcare, and everything else like that, but they're somehow sophisticated enough to pull off a false flag of Flint that somehow didn't work one way or another.
Dr. Jason Johnson, I have seen, and by the way, I made it, did it on purpose to not talk to you about this until on the show, right? I did it on purpose. But I've seen a lot of your friends were at this Correspondents' Dinner. Bring us behind the curtains a little bit. What are they saying? What are they saying about being inside of that room?
Thank you for putting it that way, G. So I won't put anyone's names out there. Here's the thing, and I've talked to several people who are actually there. The universal thing that I hear from people who are there is, one, really the security was bad, right? It's usually very, very difficult to be in it. And you and Ursula, anyone who's ever been to a concert, anyone who's ever been backstage, you've been to a Super Bowl, I've been to a Super Bowl, you know what normal security looks like. This did not look like normal security. I was hearing that from people privately in text messages before anybody said anything on television, anybody said anything on the radio. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I hear mixed reports about what it was actually like in the room, right? Because some people are saying, yeah, we heard a loud noise, but then everybody had out their cell phone cameras as we're taking pictures. And then other people are talking as if like, oh, this is terrifying, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you this because I was not in the room and I hear different things. I have marched with protesters in Baltimore after Freddie Gray when cops were out there. I was in Ferguson. I got tear gas. I saw people get shot. I saw police cars on fire. I have marched with government protesters against the government in Mexico when people were unhappy about an election result. I have been in dangerous environments before, and I'm not a war correspondent. So I can't speak to how people felt in that room, but I will tell you that most people who I spoke to were like, there was more confusion than actual fear behind the scenes in the room at the time.
You are listening to Dr. Jason Johnson, and one of the questions comes from one of our listeners, Robin Puyallup, who says, do you think it was, you've brought up incompetence by Secret Service. Is that intentional or just what is currently going on in this administration?
So here's what I think is interesting about that. You know how hard it is to act stupid if you're not stupid? You know how hard it is to pretend that you can't swim? You know how hard it is to pretend that you can't ride a bike? It is harder to pretend to be incompetent than it is to actually be incompetent. I think we do ourselves a disservice as a public when we turn an administration that, again, has been shown to not know how to manage a war, not know how to manage the economy, not know figure out how to manage healthcare, who just fired the entire National Science Board, right? It's hard to then say these people who have shown themselves to be incompetent in government at so many different levels are somehow sophisticated enough to pull this off. That doesn't click for me. And like I said, there's lots of things this administration does that are questionable, but I don't think you can pretend to be stupid at this level. I mean, we have reports from The Atlantic this week, and several people now confirming The Atlantic's reports, that Kash Patel allegedly shows up to work drunk, can't figure out his own computer. You're telling me that guy and this NSA and this FBI figured out how to make someone travel across the country and not be successful? I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's a lot of stuff I buy. I don't buy this.
By the way, there are competent people that can go to work and not figure out their computer. I'm people. Hey, real quick, you know what really I'm being serious. Hey, you know what stood out to me, Dr. Johnson, and this is something that I didn't bring up to Ursula. I haven't brought up to anyone. Mm-hmm. I find something interesting and help us understand something. Some of the folks in the room that cannot stand this administration, that cannot stand Donald Trump, the Don Lemons of the world and all the folks right. I mean, they taking pictures and selfies and all this stuff. So help me better understand the people that talk crazy and ridiculous about Donald Trump and his administration. Why were they there? Were they there to take picket for the gram, or were they there because, tell us why.
So in theory, right, and it's a perfect example of this, like I said, on my YouTube, I have a picture of me going to White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's me, Michael Steele, a bunch of black Republicans, right? I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. So in theory, the way the White House Correspondents' Dinner used to work, you remember those old like Looney Tunes cartoons where it was Wile E. Coyote and the sheepdog? And it's like they spent the whole cartoon trying to kill each other. And then at the end, they would clock out and they would have lunch together. That's what it used to be. It used to be, despite how antagonistic the relationship can be between the press, between Democrats and Republicans, it's the one night, it's nerd prom. Everybody gets together, they're friendly, they chat, and then you go back to your separate corners.
Okay.
That's what it used to be.
Right.
Until you had a president come into office who refers to journalists as enemy of the state, until you had a president come into office whose DOJ is constantly trying to arrest reporters for doing their work. And so what happened this particular weekend is I know a number of journalists who frankly were like, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go because I will not be in a room that in any shape, way, or form validates or legitimizes this administration. Now, I know other people who went and were like, look, I'm not here for Trump. I'm not here for J.D. Vance. I'm not here for Kash Patel. I'm here because I believe in what the White House Correspondents Association does, and we have to maintain that institution. So I can't speak to Don Lemon or anybody specifically, but I know that there were multiple motivations behind people going. And some people felt it was very important to continue the tradition of how the Correspondents' Dinner is supposed to work. And I know some other people who are like, we don't even have a comedian this year because the president is so thin-skinned. And by the way, I know this joke's been made 1,000 times, but I don't know how you can have a future predicting mentalist at this event who couldn't figure out what was going to happen. But they didn't even have a comedian this year because Donald Trump is so thin-skinned, right? So I know some people who didn't want to go. I know some people who did go. I don't have any specific judgments of them because I don't know every person's individual motivation for why they were at the dinner.
Sure.
Okay, well, you brought up a little bit earlier, you brought up the war and what is going on with that. So I just was looking, and there's no indication from the administration on how long the U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz might continue. The events of this past weekend kind of took the war in some ways out of the headlines. But what is your take on what is going on with the war in Iran?
So this is something important, Ursula, and thanks for asking this. I tell people this all the time. I tell them on the air, I tell them stream, tell them writing, whatever, I tell them in class. Don't listen to non-experts when it comes to foreign policy. I am not a foreign policy expert. I am a domestic policy expert. So when you hear people who want to get online and say, oh, well, this is happening. Do you speak Farsi? Do you know the intricacies? No, you don't, right? But here's what I can say is happening domestically. And here's what I can say is what's happening amongst our allies, because this is information of people who I am in contact with. Every single other nation that we are ostensibly allied with is punching air right now because they think that the war was unnecessary. The war has not been successful. The methodologies and reasons for the war seem to be changing week after week. And every single time President Trump jumps on Truth Social and claims there's another deadline, there's another extension, they've agreed to this, and the Iranians then mock him with Legos, it diminishes our status internationally. And this is not the first time this has happened. Just 6 months ago, remember, the same thing was happening with Ukraine and Russia. The president was announcing domestically, hey, Zelensky has to agree to this brand new deal by Thanksgiving. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Ukraine. These deadlines don't mean anything to these other countries. It's insane. So what I can tell you is this. The war is not going well because we never found out why we were supposed to do it to begin with. The Iranian government is still just as powerful as they used to be. Our allies don't trust us. And I don't know about y'all, but I was driving north of Los Angeles last week, and I was going to a screening of the Michael Jackson movie. I'm an hour north of Los Angeles, and I had to pay for gas that was $7 a gallon. And that wasn't happening before this war. So when I tell you that domestically, the consequences of this war are going to resonate for months and months and months and possibly years, that's what ultimately matters. And the buck stops with this thoroughly incompetent administration.
You listen to the voice of Dr. Jason Johnson here on the Gee and Ursula Show. We got about 5 minutes, and boy, did that Michael Jackson strike me in a second. But the Supreme Court right now limits the reach of Voting Rights Act ahead of the midterms. It's a 6-3 Supreme Court decision out of Louisiana. First, set it up for the people who might not know what's going on. That's number one. And number two, explain to us what this means going forward.
Very simply, the Supreme Court said we can go back to Jim Crow. You don't have to be a legal scholar. You don't have to be an expert. They said you can go back to Jim Crow. The Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act was created because it was very clear for 120-something years in American history that you had certain parts of the country where the legislatures were going to consistently cut and draw districts to dilute or completely eliminate the ability of non-white people to actually be represented. That's what was happening. And so you had a bunch of court cases in the 50s and the 60s, and the Supreme Court finally said, all right, look, you've got to make sure that you write these or cut these voting districts in a way that you can't completely eliminate black voters in the South. You can't completely eliminate this group of people or that group of people. And whenever we look at one of your redrawing of these districts, we're going to try to see if this could look like racial discrimination. They have now thrown that out. They got rid of preclearance years ago. They've now thrown it away. So what does this mean at a practical level for every single person listening? It completely depends on what state you're in. Now, if you're in one of these states in the South, it basically means if you've had a primary already, then you're fine. Your current voting districts are going to be fine heading into the midterm elections. But if you're in a place like Tennessee, South Carolina, I believe Georgia, if you're in any of these other states, it is possible now for the state legislator to completely redraw every single district, eliminate every single black elected official if they want to, and that would be completely legal as far as this Supreme Court is concerned. So it's bad. It is as bad as everyone says it is. And what people should be doing right now is making sure that they're informing themselves of their rights if you're in one of the 6 or 7 states that is yet to have a primary. Now, conceivably, that could happen in Washington, Oregon, whatever else, because not all these states would necessarily have their primaries. But you don't really have to worry in California or Oregon or Washington that the state legislator is going to try and eliminate all AAPI voters or eliminate all Latino voters or eliminate all black voters. But we have a history of that in the South. Mm-hmm. And we have a history of that being shown even recently in the South. And that's why this is a horrible ruling.
Dr. Johnson, we've got like about a minute. There is a perception and maybe it's the reality that Democrats don't have a clear message right now. And going into the midterms, what are the Democrats, what should they be focusing on as the administration and the control of the Republicans of both houses and basically the Supreme Court? I mean, going into the midterms, are the Democrats doing any better or doing any kind of messaging? Because right now it doesn't seem to be landing.
So here's the thing. By every single statistical measure right now, the Democrats are ahead by 5 or 6 points on the congressional generic ballot. People are unhappy with the Republican Party. They're going to vote for the Democratic Party. That seems the most likely outcome. And in fact, you now have races in North Carolina and Ohio that are competitive. I push back on this notion about messaging because, quite frankly, I think that most Americans don't need a coherent message. You need one during a presidential election because you're voting for an individual. But when it comes to the midterm elections, the message is what's happening locally. I don't think a Democrat in Texas, James Tallarico doesn't have to sound like, Roy Cooper in North Carolina. AOC isn't going to sound like Mamdani. I think the idea, because Republicans don't have a coherent message either. I think that when it comes to midterms, you really just have to pay attention to what are people saying in your particular state to address your needs. I think the idea of coherent messaging is a myth that inside DC people like to promote because it's an easy way to sort of fearmonger, but it's not how people actually vote in their states.
Dr. Jason Johnson, we appreciate you, and we only got we don't even have any time left, but
you can slip one more in. You can get in one more question.
Yeah, I mean, Ursula and I, we talked about the Michael Jackson stuff yesterday.
G said he's not going to go watch.
I'm not watching, and I want to know why you went to watch.
Gee, you know why I went to watch, because I am partnered with someone who is a huge fan, and she rented out an entire theater for friends and family to see. So would you rent out, or would she rent out, or they rent out an entire theater to go see an OJ movie? She probably would not. You're trying to get me in trouble.
Okay. All right. Look, how about this? Can we agree that there is a real big hypocrisy when it comes to MJ? Can we agree?
I will say that there are a lot of things about his story that there are still people in conflict about whether or not they happened or how they happened. And I think that is a fair reason for anyone to not go see anything. I honestly believe that. And you know full well, I am more of a Prince person than a Michael Jackson person. And had I not had an emotional and relationship obligation to show up, I probably wouldn't have gone.
You just here so you was just there so you don't get. You was just there so you don't get fined.
Basically, yeah, I was there to get fined. There's a pure Marshawn lens from. It was a Marshawn move from me.
Dr. Jason Johnson, make sure you guys go and check out his YouTube. He gets busy all the time. Appreciate you, my brother.
Thanks, man. Anytime.
Hey, coming up next, Ursula, what is the perfect lunch? Let's get to the bottom of that next. Gee and Ursula.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer's right around the corner. Procrastinators, beware. Valentine Roofing schedule is filling up now, and you don't want to be stuck with the other guys. So call 206 Roofing today, and Valentine can still start your roof in as little as 3 weeks. Then you can enjoy barbecuing on your deck in the backyard without worrying about old shingles falling on your head. So call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprise, just a clear estimate that you can trust. Call 206 Roofing, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Get out in the sun, get your hands in the soil. A little gardening goes a long way. Hi, I'm Sarah from Sky Nursery in Shoreline. April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. Whether it's native fir trees in your backyard, a thriving patch of flowers, or a walk through your local arboretum. Whatever your adventure, there is something beautiful to discover. Our purpose at Sky Nursery is to support you on your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Celebrate Earth Day, Arbor Day, and Native Plant Month with Sky Nursery. Garden tips and info at skynursery.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
You can't control what's happening in the world. You can't control gas prices or what the market does tomorrow. But you can control whether your retirement is protected when the unexpected hits. That's what Rajiv Nagayach has dedicated his career to helping families do. Not just picking investments, but building one plan that brings your healthcare, housing, legal, and financial decisions together into a single strategy. A strategy designed to keep you out of a nursing home, protect your assets, and keep your family from becoming your unpaid caregivers. If the last weeks have made you uneasy about your future, you need help. Join Rajiv at a free 90-minute seminar this May. You'll see where most plans fall short and how yours doesn't have to.
Register for a free LifePoint Law Retirement Planning Seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Space is limited, so sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm John Repp. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is testifying on Capitol Hill today for the first time since the war began. More from CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian.
This is a budget hearing, so the focus is on the Pentagon budget. Already, the president has put forth a $1.5 trillion request for the Pentagon, and the secretary defending that amount, saying that it is important for the United States to be able to maintain its military dominance.
Earlier, Congressman Adam Smith pressed the Pentagon's Jules Hurst on the cost to date.
So you're saying the full cost at this point is $25 billion?
Yeah, that's our estimate for the cost.
Okay. Interesting, because I'm glad you answered that question, because we've been asking for a hell of a long time and no one's given us the number.
Oil prices continue to climb with no apparent end in sight to the blockade, as we hear from the BBC's Jonathan Josephs.
These are some of the highest prices for crude oil since the Iran war began at the end of February. On Tuesday, President Trump met the boss of oil giant Chevron and other energy executives to discuss how they can limit the fallout from events in the Middle East for American consumers. Oil traders appear to have taken that as a sign the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz will continue for a prolonged period of time.
And we're currently at a new record high for gas prices in our region, according to AAA, $5.74 a gallon. Investigators are sorting out the aftermath of an Olympia chase and police shooting that left one man dead, another person in custody. It started on Tuesday when Thurston County Sheriff's deputies tried to pull over a car. The chase 90 miles an hour. There was an attempted pit maneuver. Shots were fired. It is not clear who fired first, but the suspect was shot and killed. And the first ever commute report from Strava says Seattle cyclists logged more than 3.3 million miles last year. Rain or shine, the most in the country. The Seattle Times reports that ranks well past second place city Chicago at 2.5 million miles. The most popular routes around the region, Westlake along Lake Union and the Burke-Gilman from I-5 to Gasworks. On Wall Street, we await a Fed decision, and stocks are jittery. The Dow down 304 points, the S&P 500 down 14, and the Nasdaq down 63 points. KIRO News Radio traffic. Our worst delays right now are on northbound I-5 thanks to a disabled vehicle just north of South Columbian Way. It was blocking the left lane. The State Patrol is there trying to clear it up, but your commute is suffering. Renton to Seattle takes 29 minutes. South Center to Alderwood has jumped to 51 minutes. That's 13 minutes over the norm. Everett into Seattle is delayed at 44 minutes, and we're seeing some traffic across the bridges into Seattle from Woodinville. Pick a bridge, it's 5 minutes longer than normal, and northbound 405 is still congested. Renton into Bellevue, about 5 minutes over the norm. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. Here's a look at your forecast. We have sunshine in the forecast, some clouds kind of creeping in on Thursday and Friday, but the temperature continuing to warm up as we head into the weekend, approaching 79 degrees. Currently in downtown Seattle, we have beautiful clear skies, a view of the Olympics from the Space Needle, and we have 53 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. I was going to say happy Thursday. See, you got me messed up, Gee. I feel like we should be closer to the weekend.
Don't it feel like a Thursday,
It feels
though?
like a Thursday. It is Wednesday.
Yeah.
And before the break, Gee, you asked, what makes a perfect lunch?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of put my thinking cap on because that is one of those meals that I often skip. Because you're just running around the way our show goes, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, we're bringing this up because we were talking about the Costco, the big change to the Costco $1.50 hot dog combo, which is basically that they're going to let you buy a water bottle instead of soda if you want, right?
$1.50.
Okay, but do you remember when Costco's CEO Ron Vacris went viral because he was doing that taste test trend with other CEOs, and he said that the $1.50 hot dog was he scarfed it down in front of cameras, and he said this is the perfect lunch when you run the company, but you still know the best lunch in town only costs $1.50. But is it the best lunch in town? So I know a lot of you were weighing in on the hot dogs. So I want to know from you, because you are quite the food connoisseur.
Not to get technical here.
Yes.
But it doesn't say what is the perfect lunch. It said what makes the perfect lunch.
Okay.
And I think what makes the perfect lunch, I used to have this guy that used to work with me when I was car detailing. His name was Bingwa. And every day for lunch, he brought the same thing. And you guys know me. I would make fun of him for bringing the same thing for lunch every day. I'm like, man, that's boring. You got to change it up.
What was he bringing in? It depends on what it is. Heather Bosch used to do the same thing. She would always bring those wontons in for lunch.
I'm glad you asked me.
Yes.
He brought in curry goat and rice every single day. Bingwa brought that for lunch. So I would make fun of him, right? And looking back, Bingwa was in really good shape, really good shape, right, with his lunch. Here's what I think makes the perfect lunch. First, It's whatever it is that you love. That's number one. Number two, I think the perfect lunch is believe should be your biggest meal of the day. It has now become my biggest meal of the day, my lunch. Now, you might see me have a snack and everything. But when I'm home and I do the avocado toast, this is a big lunch at 1 o'clock. I'll do the avocado toast. I'll do the egg whites. I'll do the protein shake, right? And then I'll probably
Is
have.
that tasty to you? I know it's good for you, but does it taste good?
Yes.
Man, because the conversation I wanted to have was what is the perfect lunch? Like, and okay, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
What would be your perfect lunch? Is it something that changes all the time, or is it some of the reasons maybe you don't eat the same thing is because of jerks like me that say, "Oh, you keep eating the same thing every day."
That wouldn't stop me. But for example, if I'm making it at home, I was just thinking, I love grilled cheese sandwiches. It's got to be sourdough bread. Okay, I know I'm going to gross some people out, but I like a little thin layer of mayo, and then the 2 kinds of cheeses.
That's not Filipino.
No, I'm only half Filipino.
Oh, okay.
And then tomatoes on it if I can, because then it gives you a little crunch and a little, something, a little different, a little texture, and then a great salad. So I think that's like the perfect lunch.
That is.
But
that's good.
I used to remember when we used to have places where you could get teriyaki lunches for under $10. Actually, when it was that was the perfect lunch. I could eat teriyaki lunch combo every day.
That is a good combo. That is a very good combo. Now, okay, Ursula, pick one of everything you just talked about. Your lunch, and you say, okay, Ursula, you can only eat this for lunch for the next 6 months.
I'm going with a rice and protein dish.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, I got to have some.
No, teriyaki is amazing.
Yeah, right?
I think that's a really good call for lunch. But the only other one I would say, I'm a big sandwich guy. A nice turkey club. Your little turkey, avocado, tomato, good bread, a little bacon on there if you like. And a burrito. Nothing wrong. A nice steak burrito, little fajitas, little pico de gallo, little cheese. Those would be my 2 perfect lunches.
Now, if you really want to say perfect, since we're saying perfect, and I want to be perfect, give me any type of great sandwich made by somebody else.
That's Elaine Puyallup.
Why do they always taste better?
What? And then you cut it the other. You cut it. What's the one way to diagonal? You cut it diagonal.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's
man.
all about the angles,
that
man.
That sandwich is better.
When that angle is sharp, it's just so inviting to eat it, that first bite.
Well, it's all about the wrap. That's the secret to making sandwiches is you gotta put them in the parchment or the tin foil, and you gotta wrap them up because it gets everything nice and tight. Elaine and Puyallup agrees with you, G. The perfect lunch is anything made by anyone else.
Why is that?
I don't know. Food, well, I know why in my case, food always tastes better when someone else makes it. Okay, and I give myself a bad time. I'm really not that bad. But the other thing that has to happen, though, is I don't like cold sandwiches. And I know I'm an anomaly.
You are. I like a cold sandwich over a hot sandwich.
Oh, I like a hot sandwich over a cold sandwich. I like hot food over cold. And if you give me a cold pizza, I'm not eating it. Like cold pizza in the morning is not happening.
Oh, man.
You're just not a fan of cold foods. Even maybe a salad, too?
No, salad I'll take.
Okay.
Yeah, salad is appropriate.
Because nothing really beats a cold sub sandwich on a hot summer day.
Oh, okay. If I had to try to win $1 million at this conversation, since it's a perfect lunch, I would just say flat out a BLT wins, hands down. Just a perfect BLT.
With really good bread.
Yeah. Game over. Game over.
Agree.
Now,
it's got all of it. It's got the salad. Mm-hmm. It's got the meat. Yep. It's got the bread.
You like for your bacon
toasted?
to have a little crunch, Ursula?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't like fatty, sloppy, floppy bacon.
Especially in a sandwich.
Bacon.
I'm on the theme. No floppy for me.
We're still talking about food over here?
Oh, boy. Yeah, we got to do some scenarios next. Gee and Ursula.
News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. I'm working to lower costs, grow the middle class, keep us safe, and defend our freedom. I'm also here to help you with the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered over $16 million for taxpayers and look forward to helping you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Rick was experiencing some pain in his knee.
Once I retired and really just golfed constantly, I think it kind of exacerbated.
It was getting to be too much for him.
It got to the point where I just almost couldn't sleep. I wanted to try anything to avoid surgery.
So instead, he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I talked to him and he said, well, Rick, it's a new knee or we do the stem cell.
Since the procedure, Rick is back doing what he loves to do.
Here I am, golfing and enjoying it.
And now it's not just his knee. Rick has had stem cell treatment for both of his shoulders, his hip, and...
He did my thumbs.
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, knee, and thumb like Rick, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger, to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Grateful that you guys are hanging out with the show. And by the way, just a reminder, today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
We have to remind ourselves.
Yeah. All right, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
All right, so I have to tell you guys what happened to me this weekend. I was at my girlfriend's house, family's house, over the weekend. My girlfriend and I had been together for 2 years, and I finally did it. I got down on one knee in front of everybody, pulled out the ring and all. She looked at me like I lost my mind. I heard her mom gasp. Not the good kind of gasp either. Then my girl said, "Hey, can we talk in the other room?" In the kitchen, she told me that she had been planning to break up with me here soon. And she said she just didn't want to ruin things right away and had no idea that she would propose to her in front of the entire family. I walked out of that house with the ring in my pocket, and her dad wouldn't even look at me. She's already telling people that I ambushed her in front of her whole family. Now I feel like I'm the bad guy. So how do I come back from public humiliation like that? And do I even want her back after she let me go out like that on that day? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you have to bat first.
It sounds like there were problems that preceded that ill-fated proposal. And the biggest problem is probably lack of communication, and you read the room horribly.
Right.
You had no clue.
Yeah.
You thought you were at the point of asking her to marry you.
Yeah.
And she's at the point of you wanting to break up with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you went with this grandiose, and I'm sure you had a good heart behind it, and probably, you know, had this whole idea in your head as how that would play out, and it played out horribly. You cannot come back from that. She may not want you to come back from that. So you should be thinking of, how do I learn better for the next time? Yeah. I mean, right now you need to end it. It sounds like she was ready to break it off. So you can't undo the damage that was already done in terms of your humiliation. But luckily, I mean, who saw it? It was just, it wasn't at a stadium or anything. It was just in front of the rest of the family. Yeah. I think she's basically shown you her cards, which were not apparent to you before this. She's not into you. So, you know, basically gather your things and move on.
Yeah. A wise man once said, "Suck it up, buttercup."
Yes.
Okay, so this is my time to make a sweeping statement.
Oh, God.
And by the way, when I make the sweeping statement, recently, I know some of you guys get upset sometimes when I make the sweeping statement. But here's my sweeping statement. If someone breaks up with you, other people know that you're one of the last people to find out when they're getting ready to break up with you. Hence the reason you heard the gasp by the mom, because the mom already knew. And I was in a little hair store in Lakewood last week, Ursula, and I was looking for some stuff for my beard, right? And I was in there, and on the other aisle, in the wig.
You heard a whole conversation?
In a whole conversation in the wig section. And she was like, I couldn't hear the other end. I could hear her. "Yeah, girl, I plan at the end of the month. I'm moving out, and I'm done," and all that. So my sweeping statement is clear. If someone breaks up with you, other people know about it before you.
And then you dodged a bullet.
And in this case, yes, you dodged a bullet. It ain't no
I'm
coming
sorry.
back.
Other people should not know before you do.
Yeah.
Mom should not be gasping, and you are in complete surprise. And my question would be, were you just clueless and reading nothing? No
Right.
signs and signals? Were you not communicating that? Before you propose to someone, don't you have conversations about what marriage would look like? I think that's a big problem, and that's why... What?
I didn't. I didn't have
Which
any
time?
This last time, I didn't have any conversation about what marriage looked like. It was I didn't
But
have
you
that
guys
conversation.
dated for a while.
Oh
and
yeah, we did. But I'm just saying, she could have said no. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying we didn't because you said
Okay, well, I'm going to say that you got lucky because you picked the right woman.
Yeah.
Lillian is an amazing partner. Yeah. But if you're not having those conversations before you get down on one knee and make a big production out of it,
right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You're doomed. You are setting yourself up for failure.
Now, I will say this. As far as, what do you do? Do you try to go back? The consensus right now, everybody's telling you to run. But there's a famous quote in the movie, and see if you guys can text in and guess what movie, where he says, "There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow." Guess the movie. All right, Nick, what do you got?
The weird face with the ideas of the proposal is a bad sign in the first place, and thought of breaking up beforehand is just a recipe for disaster. So if I were in her shoes, I'd just end the dang thing and head for the hills before it gets too late. And I think it's just a good idea to just find other people and just move on from this thing, because this is just a bad move in the first place.
Did you see what Mike in Portland said?
What did he say?
He said he needs to take the ring back to the store. Just what you said, Nick. He needs to take the ring back to the store, take the money, go spend a week in Hawaii, and laugh about the whole situation. Lesson learned.
By the way, I got some scoop for y'all.
Oh.
I have a partner who just recently, he and his fiance split up.
Uh-huh.
Okay? The ring that she got is very expensive.
Uh-huh.
They are in a state where if it's short and you buy it and you don't get married, the ring goes back to the guy. Right. So check this out. She won't give back the ring. Guess what he did?
Took her to court.
He 1099'd her because he had her Social Security, because they went to go do some stuff where they had Social Security numbers. He 1099'd her with the cost on there.
Whew. Ooh.
Yeah. I was like, that is genius right there. All right. By the way, some people are texting in on Rocky. And if you know Rocky, yes, there was Rocky when Apollo Creed is telling Rock, there is no tomorrow. All right. Good stuff.
Real quick.
What do you got?
In Washington, I just looked it up. An engagement ring is generally considered a conditional gift. This means the gift is given on the condition that the marriage occurs. If the engagement is broken, the condition is not met, and the ring must typically be returned to the giver.
And the giver was like, hey, I'm just gonna 1099 you. No, but here's a catch. Technically, if you get the ring back, right? You go to try to resell, you probably won't get as much money. But if you 1099 with the regular price cost, you're gonna get. It was just genius. Anyway, coming back on the Gee and Ursula Show, Ursula, we definitely got to talk about gas prices. Gee and Ursula.
The highway's jam was broken. Heroes on a last chance power drive. Everybody's out on the road for nights, but there's no place left to hide. Together, Wendy, we can live with the same.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Thinking about starting your GLP-1 journey? Go to orderlymeds.com/radio. Get access to proven GLP-1 medications, licensed providers, and a plan built for real life. All online. No guesswork, no wasted time. Just real people, real answers, real momentum, and support that actually lasts. Join thousands already seeing results. Start now at orderlymeds.com/radio. orderlymeds.com/radio. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A divided Supreme Court has struck down Louisiana's congressional map, finding that lawmakers illegally used race when drawing up a new majority black district. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
This is fairly consistent in the sense that the court has been weakening the application of the Voting Rights Act. And I do think that this will make it harder to bring certain claims under what we keep talking about today, Section 2 of this landmark piece of civil rights legislation, the Voting Rights Act.
Former FBI Director James Comey has appeared briefly in a courtroom after being indicted in North Carolina yesterday on charges of making threats against President Trump. It's related to a photograph he posted on social media last year of seashells arranged in the numbers 8647. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
He had his initial court appearance. What the judge did is he read Comey the charges, he read him his rights. The judge declined to set any conditions for his release. What he said was, I don't think the conditions on release are necessary, and he noted they weren't necessary last time.
The war with Iran has cost $25 billion so far, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth appears before the House Armed Services Committee to defend the Pentagon's record budget request.
The Pentagon is asking for $1.5 trillion for fiscal year 2027, up from $1 trillion in the current year.
The president's budget request reflects the urgency of the moment.
Hegseth said congressional Democrats are the biggest adversaries the military faces. Washington Democrat Adam Smith says State Department diplomats should be more involved in the talks with Iran.
But we shoved them all to the side in favor of 2 real estate guys who are going to go negotiate all the deals in the world, which to date, by the way, has yielded exactly nothing.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Just in, as expected, the Federal Reserve is leaving its key rate unchanged. London police declare the stabbing of 2 Jewish men a terrorist incident. They are stable and one suspect is in custody. CBS's Holly Williams is there.
There is dramatic video posted online that appears to show the attacker lunging at the police with a knife. He apparently attempted to stab the police officers and was tasered before being arrested. The police have described the attacker as a 45-year-old man.
Former Attorney General Pam Bondi will appear before the House Oversight Committee next month for a closed-door deposition on the ongoing congressional investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. A spokeswoman for the committee announced Bondi's deposition moments after Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia announced,
"It is not acceptable that she chose to not show up to her scheduled deposition in front of the Oversight Committee through a subpoena that was sent out by the chairman of this committee."
Stocks are lower on Wall Street this hour. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, the Kraken release new details on a $60 million East Side ice complex. But first, let's take a look at KIRO Newsradio traffic. Heading south from Everett to Bellevue on 405, you'll want to build in 12 minutes of extra time because of a nagging slowdown starting at Canyon Park, running past 522, and then jamming up again through Kirkland. It's going to take you about 46 minutes. If you're heading south to Renton, pick I-5 over 405. That's an above-average drive at 39 minutes from Linwood. Heading into Seattle from Federal Way, it's a nice drive. Earlier issues have resolved. You're looking at just 24 minutes. And elsewhere around the region, you have Renton to Bellevue on 405. That takes you remarkably just 22 minutes. And the bridges are okay as well, but I-90 is faster at this hour. This traffic report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. The Seattle Kraken are breaking ground on a new ice complex in Kirkland next month. They just announced it this morning, according to the Puget Sound Business Journal. This is a $60 million project, the site of the old Houghton Road Park and Ride, expected to open in the fall of next year. Leaders say the new facility will have 2 NHL-sized rinks. This is in addition to the existing facility in Northgate and in response to growing demand. The Iceplex will include a restaurant. Team Store should generate $7 million in economic activity each year. Every student in Seattle Public Schools could be eating free breakfast and lunch by this fall. Mayor Katie Wilson rolled out the plan yesterday as part of a bigger push to make the city more affordable for families. It still needs council approval. The expansion would cover all 106 schools in the district, up from roughly half that offer free meals currently. And some fresh sticker shock at the pump this morning for drivers as gas prices reached that new record high at cities around the state, according to AAA. KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin has a closer look.
Tacoma also hit a new high of 565. Bremerton is setting records this morning, too, at 562. Statewide, Washington's average is 553, which is 5 cents shy of the state record. That's $1.54 per gallon over the national average of $4.22. This stems from the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Experts say as global oil flow through the Strait of Hormuz is disrupted, $300 million a day is being added to U.S. fuel costs.
And the average price right now in the Puget Sound region, $5.74 a gallon. Tacoma's $155 million parks bond is on track to pass. The News Tribune reports the measure pulled in more than 76% of the vote as of last night. KIRO News Radio weather, it is warming up today and into the weekend. The high today, 66 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Thursday and Friday, we will top 70 degrees with cloudy skies. And then Saturday into Sunday, look for the high 79 degrees on Sunday with mostly sunny skies. Currently, fair skies, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. This is the first hour we got that right.
Yeah.
We started each hour thinking, I think we're on Friday Eve. Nope. Hey, coming up at 11:30, we do agree to disagree. And one of the questions is, would you rather take an air taxi or a driverless taxi? So I have some strong thoughts on that one. We are curious what you think. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Well, we talked about the shooting at the press conference where Mayor Katie Wilson was yesterday in Seattle. But what we didn't talk about yet is what she was proposing and what she was unveiling, her plan when it comes to getting more people food and childcare. So she rolled out this plan, G, to make breakfast and lunch free for every student in Seattle Public Schools starting this fall. And right now, only half the schools offer that. So this would make it universal. And she's also talking about how the money would come from that $1.3 billion education levy that voters already approved. This still would need to get the city council to sign off on it. She also is talking about going bigger on childcare, which is something that she campaigned on. And so this plan would have longer hours, year-round preschool, and more help for families who make too much to qualify for state aid, but they still cannot afford childcare comfortably. So for your context, we're talking about families earning up to about $153,000 a year for a family of four. And a few other things she says: more school-based health centers, more free mental health care for teens, and mentoring programs.
I said it early this morning on Seattle's Morning News, and I'll say it again. Well done. Well done, Katie Wilson, Mayor. This also well done to the city of Seattle because even though taxes are crazy and outrageous, the city of Seattle, for some reason, says yes, especially to things like this. Now, this is a 6-year plan, and obviously it has to wait and get approval and signed off by Seattle City Council, which I think will happen in late June. But when we talk about the homelessness crisis all the time, when we talk about all of the money and things going to things, this is a simple question. You should be and feel excited about paying for that young child to get a lunch, then later on paying for that young child and his family to get a shelter bed. If we can continue to do more to prevent people from being unhoused, that would be great. Because just think about that, maybe you, and I'm sure some of you all have a loved one right now, if they can just get a little bit of help for the next 6 months or to a year, they can keep their job, they can keep going, and then they'll maintain. Or maybe you have been in that situation where maybe you had a family member or a grandparent or a parent that helped you out get through that hard time, and you could say, you know what, if I didn't have that help, I don't know what would have happened. I absolutely love this.
I do too, actually. Given, I said, I'll say the little caveat that I have, given all the stories that we've been talking about regarding lots of money going to programs where suddenly you're like, where's the oversight? Where's the oversight? Is this going to I want to make sure, and we need to make sure, the Seattle City Council and the Seattle Mayor need to make sure that the things are in place to ensure that the money goes where it's supposed to go, that the people who are supposed to be helped get helped, and then I'm all for it. And it's coming from this $1.3 billion education levy that's already been approved. But here are a couple of other facts, because I was just looking at what does it cost? It's been a while since I've had kids who need childcare. But, you know, if you have an infant, I mean, that could be $21,000 to $28,000 per year per child for childcare alone. It goes a little bit down for you, but you know, again, even nanny care, $3,800 to $5,500 a month. I mean, a lot of people barely make that.
Right, and I'm glad you're bringing up that right there, because what people need to understand, and let's go back to what you and I have been interviewing folks about over the last couple weeks. When you guys mismanage the money, And when you guys try to move on and say, hey, taxpayers, we're going to now create a task force to make sure this doesn't happen again. No.
Yeah.
Because what ends up happening is, and this is why, and I'm going to go ahead right now and speak for myself, this is why I have been so angry, because I know who will hurt from you mismanaging funds. Or I know who will hurt, and I think you do too, if you guys don't hold someone accountable for this.
Yes.
Then people will start to say, "Oh no, I don't want to give." I'm
not going to say yes this time.
Because when money is cut, social programs and help, and then you know what else will happen? Then we'll get people that use their platforms to tell you about how fraud happens within SNAP, and they'll tell you about how people are lazy and they don't want to get a job. So it amplifies their voices that makes me get high blood pressure when I hear the. Go ahead, Urs. Take it from me.
No, I think you're right. And we talk about, and Mayor Wilson campaigned on this idea that make Seattle a place where families can actually afford to stay. And one of the biggest costs, 20 to 23% of median household income goes to infant child care in Seattle. So, that doesn't leave a whole lot. And you're right. Why not address the hole in the boat, as you always like to say, instead of doing it on the other end when we're like, oh my God, we don't have any help for these people who are now on the streets. Do it on the front end. The other thing is there are nearly 20,000 kids who are not enrolled in public schools, and the district is like, hey, hopefully this would also give them another reason to come back. So I'm in favor of it as long as, like I said, the caveat is that the money is managed properly.
And you know what you just said? You just said, I'm in favor. It's already been voted.
Yes, but future may not.
Future, what you just said is really important, because you said, I'm in favor of it as long as I know that the money, is going to be handled properly. And here's the truth. This is the truth. Do we have no evidence as to the money being handled properly? You want to know why? Because we still don't have accountability. Yes. We still don't have. All we keep hearing is trying to move forward. No.
Yes, exactly.
So somebody's going to be faced with a vote in the future, and they're going to say what Ursula just said. Hey, you know what? I would be good with this if I knew, actually, wait, did they ever hold somebody accountable? Was there consequences? No.
Were there dramatic changes into how they handle this money?
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly. Okay, speaking of money, you're paying more for your gas, record prices. It's painfully record-breaking. The average gas price now is $5.51 statewide. That's $5.51 a gallon. That is pennies shy of the all-time high, but in the Seattle, Bellevue, Everett area, you've probably noticed that we are at a new record at $5.72. Now, I'd be happy if I found $5.72. Yesterday, I filled up, and it was over $6. So you got to drive a little bit to find it. A lot of families are saying, it's not just annoying. It means I have to make different decisions.
That's so true.
So Fox 13 spoke with someone who said that it used to cost $134 this winter to fill up, and then now it runs nearly $200.
So my little car out there that I drive. No, I no longer have a Tesla. Well, I don't. I don't have a Tesla. I don't drive a Tesla anymore. And I know that when I would fill it up, Ursula, it used to be like $62, $63. And then when things was good, it was like $59. It's now closer to $90. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, look, I'm fine. And as you guys know, when I'm thinking about filling up at the pump, I am literally thinking about the people, like you just said, Ursula, that have to make a lot of decisions. But this past weekend, on Saturday morning, your dog filled up, Ursula. Filled up in Tacoma. And then what I ended up doing is driving way up to, I had to go to Anacortes. Shout out to Anacortes. Went up there, did the event. Drove back from Anacortes. Then I had another event in Woodinville. Drove back from Woodinville. Then it's Monday. And then it's and guess what, Ursula? I already had to fill up again. Right? Just think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I had to go and do those things. So what about the family that has to go take their kids for sporting events and after-school stuff? I mean...
Or people who just have long commutes. I mean, I'm lucky my commute is 12 minutes.
Yeah, the long commutes.
That's you.
Very, very good point. But now going forward, is this the worst? Is this the worst? Because at $7, and we haven't seen that. I remember I was telling Nick and those guys.
Is this the worst?
Is this?
There's no guarantee that this is the worst.
That's what I'm saying.
And I want to just say again, because and quite frankly, I heard Charlie Harger's commentary this morning, and he broke it down too. There are two things working against us: the war and our state gas taxes, and specifically also the Climate Commitment Act. So we were already screwed going in, and then countrywide we're seeing big spikes because of the Strait of Hormuz being closed. Right. But I mean, I would love it if more people in our state were talking about what kind of relief that would be. Immediate relief. What kind of relief can you get? Because right now people are having to make choices.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have looked recently. I have, because I got some stuff to do. I bought some plane tickets probably about a month and a half ago, and it was kind of creeping up. Has any of you all listening right now, have you guys checked out plane tickets lately? It is crazy, Ursula. Some of the same things. It was a trip that was going to be made down to Phoenix, Arizona. So the same trip, it was high threes, $380-something.
Yeah.
It's that same ticket is now $600. So I want to know if anybody else has experienced and seen some stuff. There's some tickets right now to go down to Cabo for $1,200 from Seattle. Like, so jet fuel is a deal.
It really is, and already the airline CEOs are saying it's not going to come down. So if you were thinking, I'm going to hold off on buying my ticket because prices are going to come down, there's no guarantee of that. Luckily, the 2 remaining vacations I have, we purchased the tickets before the war.
Lucky.
That said, we are concerned because one of them is taking us over to a part of Europe that I'm like, I hope it's not affected.
Right.
Because they say already, they warn that they could change the price based on what is going on. So they could actually do an additional fee. So we're not out of the woods, but I know that a lot of people making vacation plans are changing them because it's so expensive.
And before I leave, the one thing I got to make sure I shout out, because I don't want to be selfish in this, because so far I talked about me about this topic on gas. There's a lot of people, maybe you're listening right now, maybe you drive for Uber, you drive for Lyft, you drive truck, you delivery services, you have a mobile detailing service. So a lot of you all, this is hitting your bottom line immediately. And it might be the difference. So you might have a 4-person crew. You maybe have 3 people that are working for you. This might be the difference in you having to lay someone off because of this if these prices don't come down. So I just want to give a shout out to all of the people that depend on their vehicles or machines with gas.
Yeah, we understand you're feeling the pain, especially.
Yes.
Dave in Snohomish County said $600 to get to Arizona in a day. Oh, he says it's a great deal. I don't know. There's a lot of people. I mean, I used to be able to get a ticket to Vegas. I haven't even looked. That's not happening.
I was going to.
I'll
tell you. I was going to go to Vegas to see the Jeezy concert Memorial Day weekend. Just so you know, I went to go look. Today's Wednesday. Yeah. On Monday.
Yeah.
I went to go look. I have changed my mind. It was $867.
That's supposed to be a cheap flight because you're going to lose your money while there.
That's serious. Yeah.
Ay. Okay. Hey, how important is local baseball?
Very.
And I ask this because the city of Everett is saying that it needs more money for a new stadium. And they're now asking the city council for another $10 million to finish design of the ballpark that would be the new home of the Everett Aqua Sox.
Worth it.
The Seattle Times, well, I want to hear from other people too. So I love that you think it's worth it. The Seattle Times reports this new stadium would help the team comply with new field requirements that are imposed by Major League Baseball. And this new outdoor event center would cost a total of $120 million and could open up as soon as next year. But again, they need the additional $10 million, which made me start thinking because And I want Nick to weigh in because Nick works for the Rainiers as well. I mean, those are, you say it's very important.
I think it's very important for your local community. I mean, look, not everybody is, so if you live in Everett or you're down in Tacoma or you're just further away, not everyone can just be like, hey, let's pack up and go down to Seattle, right? But how beautiful will it be? It's like, hey, it's a Friday night. You know what? Hey, tonight, let's just go down to the Rainiers game. Let's go to the Aqua Sox game. Like, that's number one. Number two, that creates more jobs. Number three, we talk about the homelessness crisis. We talk about it. Let's keep people with jobs, everybody. So, Nick, what do you got on this, brother?
Absolutely, yeah. I think they should help fund a better ballpark or a new ballpark, so to speak, because, like you said, not everybody wants to go to the big corporate Mariners game. I don't want to, put a big label on it. I love the Mariners and all that, but some people think they want that smaller kind of vibe. They want, the smaller market thing, and it's also affordable, too. And you'd be surprised how many people show up to those games, especially on the weekends on a nice, sunny summer day.
That's going to be this weekend.
It's really exciting when, the ballparks are smaller, but when everyone's all closer together, and it's a more intimate feeling or experience when you're there because all the seats are close to the field, and you can be really close to the coaches and the fans, and it's a very intimate experience. So I think it's great for the community.
Text us. Thank you, Nick. Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Are you willing to pay a little more to keep your local team there with a stadium?
So how about we pay off some, before we get out of here, pay off some of these texts that are coming in, Ursula, about what's going on out there. Joe in Port Orchard says, I run a landscape company. I invested in a battery-powered piece of equipment that's been helping me with the gas prices. So a lot of you all are starting to text in right now. There was one that came in that says, T. and Conway says we had to repurchase tickets. Oh, they even sent the receipt. We had to repurchase tickets to Nairobi after our flight through Doha. We bought 6 months ago, was canceled for obvious reasons. We bought replacement basic coach tickets for $2,300 each. Same flights are now more than premium economy was then. So please text in on some of the things that you guys are doing, any kind of ideas that you can give that you plan on doing. But again, if you have any flights that are coming up, I'm telling you right now, it has gotten ridiculous. And I got to fly here pretty soon. I'm so glad.
Diabolical.
Diabolical. All right, coming up next is time for Agree to Disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
The throw to first, and it's in time. Holy smokes, what a play by J.P. Crawford.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident-Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike three.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
With Mariners value games, you can score seats for less than $12 on select dates all season long, including the upcoming series against the Braves, Monday, May 4th through Wednesday, May 6th. Go to mariners.com/value to get your tickets and check out the full slate of value options, featuring the biggest ever Mariners value menu available every game.
Walter is a soccer player, a soccer coach, and a soccer dad. So when he injured his Achilles, it affected everything.
Every time I ran or tried to play soccer, it would just get worse.
And he wasn't the only one dealing with it.
I was a soccer parent, and within a few weeks, 2 other fathers tore their Achilles or damaged their Achilles. They went to the surgery. I went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I was back up and running, and they were jealous because it took them months to recover. One of them never fully recovered.
That's right. Walter chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The recovery period is so short, and the feeling that you have of being completely back to normal is overwhelming.
So, whether it's a hip, like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
When was the last time someone reviewed your tax return looking for opportunity, not just accuracy? For most people, a tax return is something you file and forget. But what if it's actually a snapshot of decisions made, opportunities missed, and strategies waiting to be uncovered? At Madrona Financial and CPAs, your return isn't just paperwork, it's a roadmap. Brian Evans, CEO and host of Growing Your Wealth, is hosting a live workshop called Your Tax Return Treasure Hunt. In this interactive seminar, he'll walk you through the major schedules of your return, helping you identify missed planning opportunities and disconnects between your tax return and your long-term financial goals. Because your return already tells a story. To reserve your seat, visit madronafinancial.com or call 833-673-7373. And be sure to listen to Growing Your Wealth Saturdays at 9 a.m.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm John Repp. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth testifying on Capitol Hill today for the first time since the war with Iran began. The hearing before the House Armed Services Committee was focused on the administration's 2027 military budget proposal, which would boost defense spending to a historic $1.5 trillion. 9th District Congressman Adam Smith noted that Iran still holds power, asking,
what is the plan to get that to change? And most disturbingly, the president keeps telling us
that it's over.
Family members of the victims of one of Canada's deadliest mass shootings have sued OpenAI and its CEO Sam Altman in court today, alleging the company identified the shooter as a credible threat months before and did nothing. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick reports.
The shooting in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, left 9 people dead, many of them children. Plaintiff's attorney Jay Edelson says several employees warned the leadership of OpenAI that the shooter was discussing gun violence and police should be alerted.
The leadership at OpenAI said, no, we need to keep this quiet. And that's why you have a town that's been decimated. This is as close to pure evil as I've seen a company act.
OpenAI said in a statement it has strengthened its safeguards.
In the Puget Sound region, the Kraken say a second iceplex on the east side will provide additional space and infuse more than $7 million into the local economy on the east side, according to the Puget Sound Business Journal. Groundbreaking should take place next month at the old Houghton Park and Ride site on 70th Place. That will include 2 full-size ice rinks, a team store, and a restaurant. This is in addition to the complex in Seattle's Northgate neighborhood. And the official launch of Seattle's boating season happens Saturday with the Windermere Cup on the Montlake Cut. Rowing teams from around the world will be here to compete against the University of Washington, and UW women's rowing coach Yaz Farouk says they're ready to go.
We're super excited about this weekend where we will take on Great Britain and Canada. It's the most star-studded field that we've had at the Windermere Cup since the very first one 40 years ago against the Soviet Union.
Crew races begin at 10:15 on Saturday. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 384 points right now after the Fed decision to hold interest rates steady. We're seeing a similar drop with the S&P 500 down 26 points. The NASDAQ also down 83 points. KIRO News Radio traffic. I-405 southbound still over what you would expect at this hour. Everett to Bellevue will take you 37 minutes. Typically would just take half an hour. It's been slow all morning. I-5 southbound into Seattle is actually in good shape, though, with a below-average drive. So you should take that if you're heading from Linwood down to Renton. And let's say you're heading north. You're going to run into some slowdowns on I-5 if you're heading into Seattle on that route. We're seeing a report of an accident right at the West Seattle Bridge. You're actually better taking 405 if you're trying to get to Linwood from Renton. Both bridges a little busier than normal, but nothing you can't handle. You can pick either I-90 or 520. They're about the same commute time right now. This traffic report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off a complete home install through April 30th. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. Here's a look at your forecast, and it's a nice one. Mostly sunny skies today, as you might have noticed, with the high 66 degrees. Clouds moving in Thursday and Friday with the high over 70 both days, and then we could be approaching 80 degrees on Sunday with mostly sunny skies. Currently, it's really nice outside. Fair skies, 58 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is time for us. I've just kind of lost track of where I'm at right now.
I'm here.
The stuff that G brings up during breaks. I'm like, okay.
Last 2 days we've had to be on our toes during the breaks, Ursula. We never know what G's going to be dropping.
Exactly.
Truth bomb.
I could have come today with the reactions and responses, Paul, to our Michael Jackson conversation, and you should have seen some of the inboxes that I got.
It blew up.
Yes, but I did in my personal inbox, like, but G, you have to understand, like, to justify.
I know.
Like, where Michael Jackson.
I was struggling with that conversation way after we had that conversation.
I mean, the reason why it's not hard for me to struggle, because Michael Jackson actually admits to sleeping with the young boys.
That's not cool. That's awful.
You mean to tell me
if
you dropped your son off at Terry's house, Uncle Terry, and Uncle Terry sleeping with your sons, you okay with that? Oh, but Uncle Terry had a rough childhood. Huh? All right.
And then there's the music.
Okay, my bad. See, okay, what we just did, this is what we talk about off the air.
Exactly.
Off the air. That we're choosing joy, Paul.
Yes, we're choosing joy. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Well, I think I need to take an air taxi to pivot on our topics here. If you've ever wanted to live out your dream as a member of the Jetsons, well, it is coming to life sooner than you think. The new electric taxis just completed their first successful test, going from JFK to Manhattan in 10 minutes. So, Ursula, I wanted to start with you here. Would you rather take a flying taxi to cut across the city in no time, or hop in a driverless Waymo car?
I'm going in a driverless Waymo car, and I do that reluctantly.
Same.
But I don't think in my lifetime I will ever be going into a tiny flying taxi. I'm good with the next generation. We're good.
You know what? This might not be a good agree to disagree, because literally everything that Ursula said, I'm in ditto. There's no way. I'm not doing it. A mistake or whatever can happen with Waymo. But in the air?
I want to be on the ground if there's going to be a mistake.
I'm not even flying in a Cessna. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There was a time when I did, but as I get older and older, it's just I start limiting my options. I had it. Okay, just real quick.
Go ahead.
When I was in the Philippines, we had a chance to fly into one of the islands, and it was like, well, we would have had a chance had I booked it early. But it was one of those little planes, and I was really glad that I went on a bigger plane. Those little planes, I can't do anymore.
Okay.
I can't do it anymore. And an air taxi is not going to happen.
There's two things that I kind of want to do that would be nice, but I just don't want to do it. I want to do the helicopter ride. You know, you can do that down in Pierce County, down in Tacoma. They got that. Or I want to do the prop plane. I'm scared to do both of them. And I know somebody's gonna text and says, "Oh, gee, they're totally safe."
Yes. Yeah. And I want to know how experienced that person who's flying that flying vehicle is.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to have a real proven record.
That answered my follow-up question then, at least, because you said helicopters, because helicopters are, people are hopping in helicopters to get around, especially New York City all the time. So no helicopter either at this stage?
No.
Yeah, there was a time when I would do roller coasters out of blinking an eye. No, not anymore.
Wait. So what do you think?
Yes?
Do you think the reason we're this way
because we're getting older?
Yes.
Yes. There are two things that go through my mind. Will my heart take it? And the other part is I know too much.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been working in this business way too long.
Way too long.
I'd like to go on one of those.
I can already tell how the text line would go. Hey, whatever happened to G. Scott, man? You heard about that? Man. Finally, I agree with G. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I've always wanted to go on one of those small planes and go around the sound or something like that. I think
hot air balloon?
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, hell no. No, of everything. Ursula, can you do a hot air balloon?
No.
No.
They don't stick to the ground sometimes.
I'm leaving it for the young ones.
Nick, you doing any of this, bro?
Hot air balloon scares me. The only thing separating you from falling is that little basket. Oh, my gosh. Nightmare fuel.
Oh, man.
All right, this one, we've done this before. You've heard this one before, but it's important because 1 year later, the reactions are coming into Pike Place Market going car-free. Now, we have some saying here, Q13 looked into this as well. Some have said there is a boosted foot traffic and sales. Officials are calling it a success after 1 year, but vendors, they're reporting mixed results, citing uneven sales and concerns about access, deliveries, and enforcement. The program is going to continue through the summer, which includes the World Cup. Gee, is it finally time for us to say Pike Place, car-free for good?
As the great philosopher Ursula says, 1,000%. 1,000%. It is so nice down there without having to worry about the cars. Ursula, what you got?
I think, okay, I know that nuanced answers are not great for this segment, but I want to hear more from the folks who are most affected, and those are the vendors. And is there a way to alleviate the situation where the delivery trucks cannot come in? Could there be car-free zones between certain hours?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when most people are actually shopping, but the delivery times, I mean, I think that there's a way that you can make it better for both, because there's no Pike Place Market if you don't have vendors that can sustain drops in sales.
Right.
You know what I mean? That said, also, anytime that I've been at the market when cars are just practically parked and just inching their way on that cobblestone street, that's not good either.
Even though there's probably a big inconvenience for the people the vendors down there, you got to admit it's kind of worth it because more people are coming. It's more inviting, right? When you go down there, it just feels really good.
It feels better for us. Yep. What the vendors are saying, it's mixed. They're saying, well, yeah, some we're seeing better. Mm-hmm. I mean, but also, how's the economy playing into this? Can you only blame that it's car-free, or are there other factors in play?
Well, the new Pike Place, the way it's down there, the view. Come on.
By the way,
yeah.
If you haven't been, and if you've been avoiding it for whatever reasons, you really need to check it out.
Yeah,
you really need to go to the market, and you really need to check out the new waterfront.
Or if you're standing strong, I'll never go to Seattle.
Don't. You're losing out.
Just a little follow-up. Skylar Davis, a cheesemonger at the Cheese Box, spoke with Q13, says the customers love the change. Everyone's super happy to be walking around, but there's something in the air. Something's happening economically to affect the market here. I can't attribute that specifically to the street being closed. Mentioned geopolitical forces and stuff as well. So just at least one take from a vendor.
I'm sure, hey, Nick, I'm sure the market is filled with Canadians coming down saying, I'm so happy to be here.
No brainer, right?
I'm so happy to be here. Text message and feedback, and it will have Ursula's Words to Live By.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Owie, wowie!
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. From native fir trees in your backyard to a thriving patch of flowers or a walk through your local arboretum, Sky Nursery supports your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Visit skynursery.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Man, I tell you what, text messages, y'all been fired up today. Texting in. I got to tell you, I just want to let y'all know, because I love you guys so much. If you guys have been like, man, Gee's chill lately, because I've been saving my hot takes. Because some of those hot takes be unnecessary, Ursula. Sometimes
does it bring you peace? Your decision? Yes, right?
Yes, it does.
Ultimately,
because ultimately we are in better moods.
Yes.
So yes, correct. It does.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all better for it.
What do you got, Ursula?
Okay, so we started off, and Luke came in and talked about the shots that were fired at Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's event when she was talking about childcare and all these things. Fernando in Seattle said maybe more cameras that actually work.
Come on, Fernando. You right. How about them cameras?
Yeah, truck driver Phil said, yeah, it's okay. The flock cameras got the dark sedan with the shooters so they can be tracked down. Oh, wait a minute. No, they didn't. Don't want to invade their privacy.
Whoa.
Truck driver Phil.
Truck driver Phil? That might be your best, bruh. That was good. That actually got me.
We were talking about Ferguson's office and how they handle press requests.
Yeah.
Destiny in Seattle says, this makes me long for Mr. Mark Mullet.
Yeah, and if you missed that conversation, it's because Governor Ferguson wants to micromanage and make sure that everything needs to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb before anything goes out from any department, which is difference in attitude when it comes to treating the press.
Back in the day when you were management, were you a micromanager?
Initially, yeah. I think that is something that can happen and does happen when you're inexperienced.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back at it, I made mistakes as a manager. Oh my God. If I could do it now, I would be doing it so differently. Yeah.
I micromanage 7 o'clock, not 7:01
on the dot,
not 7:02, and the staples got to be in the right place.
Top left corner.
ICE Detention Center lawsuit. Julie in Seattle said, spot on, Ursula. Private detention centers are motivated by the bottom line. More people in detention, cutting corners on expenses, etc. Yeah.
We were talking about the chase in Thurston County there. Mark and Olympia got a hands-on look. The Thurston County man arrested a little bit ago from the breaking news was taken down on our property. My wife was home and heard the crash and gunshots. They wouldn't let my son and I come home for a couple of hours. Hope everything's all right, Mark.
We talked about the copper wire thieves that basically damaged or made it inoperable, the HVAC system at Taproot Theater, and that could jeopardize all their programs. JLV in Puyallup says, Karen and Taproot are good people. My wife worked as a stage manager there back in the day, and they've employed so many of my friends. Will definitely be donating. And we are going to post something on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page.
Yep,
right?
it's taproottheater.org/support, I believe is the link, but we'll make sure that we get something up on Facebook there. Kara, the cleaning lady, says that's another priority we need to address in this state, holding the people responsible for buying this stolen copper wire.
Come on, Kara.
Kara, precisely. It feels like that should be a big priority because it's such a destructive thing that is happening.
I mean, we do it when it comes to the Johns, right?
How did your brain go there, Gee? me and my
gotta start
buns.
with the demand. You gotta get rid of the demand.
It's true though. Okay, we got the most response today on our food topics.
Yeah.
Hot dogs, $1.50 hot dogs at Costco, and the perfect lunch. Rob, the retired Puyallup police officer, says, I was just minding my own business here, sipping Dr. Pepper. Then y'all started talking about floppy buns and crusty buns, and now I'm cleaning up that Dr. Pepper.
All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What you got?
I love this quote from Tom Robbins, talking about our differences. Our similarities bring us to a common ground, but it's our differences that allow us to be fascinated by each other.
Yes, the differences, right. Somebody asked me earlier, Ursula, what was my Canadian accent? I wasn't Canadian when I said happy to be here. That was me, Eddie Murphy, coming to America. Canadians being here, happy to be here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't get that right. Nick, what you got, man?
Well, with the sun out peeking while it's speaking as it glows, we had summer eats stuck on the mind with lunchtime coming close. And maybe G will eat egg whites with avocado toast, but we all know he's craving hot dog combos that are loved by most. Though there's hot dog conditions, Gee and Ursula will observe, not allowing bacon in the buns too floppy when they're served. So don't be showing them any soft and floppy buns because they're not going to be impressed.
Am I the only one on this floppy thing?
No, I'm with you.
I just needed to get you one more time, G.
Yo. Hey, tomorrow's Thursday. Thanks,
Ursula's
Ursula.
not the floppy type, huh?
No flip-flop.
Oh, man. Thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
Happy
Mike,
to be
thanks
here.
for coming in, brother. All right, the microphone was messed up. Hey, Nick, thanks, man.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Two the girls calling them K9. Hey, but they tell me, hey man, it's part of the party. You put a woman in front and a man behind. I have a woman shout out, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
KIRO News News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
What a performance by the big unit!
Mariners fans, don't miss your chance to witness history on Saturday, May 2nd, when the Mariners celebrate Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night. Presented by T-Mobile. The special pregame event will immortalize Randy's 51 while recounting the big unit's biggest moments, like throwing the franchise's first no-hitter and winning the team's first Cy Young Award.
Randy looks to the skies!
Get your tickets today at mariners.com/big unit.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener. Like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV. But if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Gee and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Has your junk drawer taken over the whole house? Closets jammed, garage packed, pantry a mess? Don't just live with it. John Curley here for Closets by Design. Organize your closets, garages, laundry rooms, and home offices with Closets by Design. Everything is custom built for how you actually live. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Grainger offers the professional grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call